Today I want to talk about film photography. I got into that about 2 months ago. I used to shoot digital. I still shoot digital. I mean, I'm shooting this with Nikon Z6 because I'm not American. So I just love my Nikon. I also have this little Z50, and this camera here is the camera I use when I go out doing street photography. I thought I was going to use my Z6 II more, but it's kind of big and bulky, and it's hard to go unnoticed when you have that big camera. And this little thing here, the Z50, awesome camera, awesome features. It does really great video as well, and it's really easy to just shove it in my pocket, in my jacket, and I could just, and I use that little what do you call it, the kit lens that came with it, which is a 16 to 50, and it looks like a point and shoot, except the odd time I will remove this one and put a 28mm on it, or the Nifty 50 I have. But for the most part, I use this for my street photography, and just because it's easy. And so I've been using this. Then I discovered, like you've seen before, the Rolleicord. And this changed my photography attitude, my whole concept of it, because it got me into the film photography. It's a TLR camera, which means twin lens reflex. So the top lens is for your viewfinder, and you have a little magnifying glass here when you want to focus. So you look through the viewfinder here, and then you focus, and here is the lens that will take the actual picture inside the black box. I use the Kodak Portra 160 and the 400 for the color films, and I will use the Ilford just because they're only $10 and I can get them at the local shop. I'll use the Ilford HP5 100 for the black and white series when I do that. Now, with that, of course, I had the Rolleicord, so I had to buy another one. I got the Yashicaflex. This one's a bit more recent. It's the same thing, a TLR. I looked through it, and I think I prefer shooting with this one only for one reason. It's because of the viewfinder. It doesn't have that little round prism in the middle, and I find it really difficult to get really sharp images with the Rolleicord, because it has that prism. So when I got my first 4 films developed, you can see in my previous video, some images aren't sharp, and it's because I'm having a hard time focusing with this. Especially if I forget to put my glasses on, it's not sharp at all. So it's not the camera, because I managed to get really sharp images with it, but I think it was just by accident. So for now, I ordered a glass for this one, though, similar to this one, so it'll be easy. I'll remove that prism in the middle, so it'll be easier for me to focus properly with it. And then I'll enjoy shooting more, because it's a 75mm. This is an 80mm. This one is a 1/500th, and it goes up to 22 f-stops. As for this one, is only 1/200. So that little difference in the daylight makes up. So I prefer shooting with this one, but for now, the Yashicaflex. Okay, so all that said, I went to the local shop, got my first 4 films developed, and it's $25 a pop. And now right here I have 15, 16, 17, 18, 2 more in my bag, that's 20. Plus I have 3 more here that I haven't developed. So we're like, 23, 4, 5, 25 times 25. That's a lot of money. Once I've calculated all, I thought, okay, that's a lot of money. So instead of doing that, I decided to start developing myself. Oh, that's another thing. And I'm loving it. I came home yesterday from work and I had received everything I ordered. I ordered the CineStill. So far, that's my first attempt. I ordered the CineStill DF96 for the black and white in powder because it comes from the States, and they want cross borders with the liquids because of hazardous material. So in powder, it's fine. Of course, it's never going to be as sharp as digital, as mirrorless cameras, and focus is always going to be a little off compared to all this autofocus. But it's a great experience. I mean, you're right there in the whole process, and you don't have as much control as you would with a mirrorless camera because there's settings up the wazoo with new cameras. As for these, you focus, you set your ISO, you set your shutter speed, and then that's about it. And of course, you have to meter your light with an external because these don't have light meters. So, of course, like I mentioned before, it slows you down. You have to take the time to do your shots. And here I have also a Minolta X700 35mm film. It works, and this one I kind of like, the Pentax Asahi Pentax, and it also works pretty good. And I haven't gotten into 35mm film yet. I'm still stuck and hooked on that 120mm. So these are just collecting dust, looking good on the corner over there, and that's about it for now. So now I developed my first 4 rolls, like I said, at the shop, and yesterday I did my first one. So now when you have it's a whole different organization because now you have to sort your negatives. I put my exposed rolls in the black box like this, so to make sure there's no light that comes in. So when this gets full, I know it's about time for me to develop, because the chemicals, they don't last forever. They'll do about 15 to 20 rolls for about $25. So it works out to about $2 a roll instead of 25 to develop and scan. So I'm saving a lot of money in the long run, but that's not quite the issue. So I sort all my negatives in these pouches here, and I mark the date, which camera I used, and and of course the details of which film it was. So one page holds my 12 exposures. So now I'm up to 5, and it's kind of cool. And like I said, it's a whole different organization to have all these, because when I see, this is the one I used, my first chemical development, homemade, and they came out right. So I'm pretty happy that I'll be able to develop my own film without losing any quality, because it's stressful, you know. I might have taken some good shots with these rolls, and it could be stressful to think that you might screw something up and lose your shots. But hey, that's part of the game, you know. You lose shots, you go on, you move on, you know. It's not so bad. I can take hundreds and hundreds and hundreds with my mirrorless cameras and only get a few good ones, so that's all right with me. Well, anyways, I think that's all I have to say about that. So I'll see you in the next video, when I'll probably be developing and mixing products. And I'm still waiting to go out shooting with these cameras, but winter just doesn't seem to want to stop, and it's always gray, and I'm a little bit fed up of shooting grays all the time. I want to play around with shadows, and I haven't been able to since, because I have 2 days a week off when I can actually go out. And for the past few months, it's been gray all the time, zero shadows. And like I said, I don't want to shoot those anymore. My Instagram is full of shadowless shots, which by the way is just my playground. I don't post my best shots on Instagram. I just post because I like to show the stuff I do. So anyways, if you're not following me on Instagram, it's 362 degrees. 362 degrees. And alright, well, we'll see you next time, guys.